I'm so excited.
I mean,
we built this day around you.
Writing and telling stories, whether it be on camera or in print, have always been something I've been interested in.
I mean, in a world, in a space and time where erasure is at the forefront, there is no DEI to even talk about Black women, to talk about Black people. You are almost blackballed. How important is it for us to tell our stories?
Well, if we don't tell them, somebody will tell them for us. I mean, the story will be told.
When I'm standing, when I'm looking at you in all of your glory, I think that is the thing that that kept coming into my mind was like, you have worked so hard to be here.
Just keep going. You never know what the next second will bring you.
Yeah.
And literally, I could have quit a day too soon.
Welcome to Vault Empowers Talks, where we don't just scratch the surface. We dive deep into the lives of some of the world's most influential change makers. I'm your host, Brandi Harvey. Now, y'all, today, I got my homegirl in the building. I'm so excited for this one. Ashley Allison is a powerhouse political strategist, media executive, and one of the most influential voices shaping today's national conversation. Ashley is a respected CNN political commentator and the founder and CEO of Watering Hole Media, where she is leading a bold mission to expand equity, ownership, and representation in media. She made headlines for bringing the root back into Black ownership, ushering in a new era of culturally resonant journalism, and reinforcing her commitment to amplifying Black voices, culture, and truth at scale. She brings more than 2 decades of experience building winning campaigns and movements, including serving as a senior official in the Obama White House and as National Coalitions Director for the Biden-Harris 2020 campaign. Her insights have been featured on Black Enterprise and The Joy Reid Show. Ashley doesn't just comment on power, she builds it. Vault Empowers Talks welcome visionary, truth teller, and disruptor Ashley Allison to the show. I'm so excited. We built this day around you.
Don't believe the hype.
You said you was coming. I said, we gonna make it work, okay? I am so excited for you to join me.
I'm really excited to be here. I love watching what you do. And we've been talking about me coming by for some time, but time, place, and circumstances matter.
I mean, I have known you for over 23 years at this point. We've been friends since college. We pledged together. I tell people when I look at you on CNN, getting folks together, snatching edges, gathering folks, I say she always been this girl.
Yeah, I kind of have. It's funny, last night I was thinking about something and I was like, oh, I heard the word smart aleck on a commercial. And I hadn't heard that word since my childhood because that's what my mom always said, don't be a smart aleck. And I leaned back and I said, well, that smart aleck is kind of getting me paid right now, paying the rent. I just have always been somebody that when I see something I don't like, I say it.
Yeah.
To my friends, to my family, and to my foes,
I mean, I want to just jump into the Route 100 because you and I went up to New York
Thank
to go
you for
to
coming. That meant a lot.
I was like in awe of you. I was just in awe. I was like, the audacity of it all. I said, to be in that room, to be in that space where you have reignited this vigor and this passion to share Black stories. I want you to talk about this because we didn't have many a conversation about how the Route 100 came into Black ownership again.
Yeah. So just a little backstory. When I was at Ohio State, when you met me, when I was in high school, I worked for the high school newspaper, the Irish Times. Somebody from, I don't know if you remember Mecca, but he sent me an article of like Ashley's answers from Black Horizons the other day on Instagram, where I was like telling the story of how during the spring on the South Court basketball courts, the police would come and tell basically harass Black kids to turn their music down and not hang out. And I was like, this is an injustice. And I was reading that and I was like, I always been yapping and like
Yeah.
seeing something and saying something. And so writing and telling stories, whether it be on camera or in print, have always been something I've been interested in. And quite honestly, Black Horizons, the reason why I'm telling the story is that we started Black Horizons. Black Horizons did not exist. Rob Taylor and I decided that the current school newspaper was not doing what it needed to do for Black voices. And so we started something. And then fast forward to President Obama being elected. You know, I always say I've always wanted, I was a journalism major. I've always wanted to be a commentator on CNN. And so, but at 22, you're not going to do that. You don't have the experience. And so I started Watering Hole, the company that now owns The Root. And so when this opportunity came, and I planned for this opportunity for years, but it happened really, really fast. And the saying of like, stay ready so you don't have to get ready. We say that sometimes in passing, but it is really true. Like you have to do the reps so that when it is time to run the race, you are ready and you won't exhaust yourself.
Yeah. I mean, you mentioned Obama because you worked on the Obama campaign, and all of those steps have prepared you to be the freedom fighter that we see on television every week.
Yeah, I most people don't know this, but we prayed before the show started, right? And my journey with my faith has been essential in my walk. And the thing I say now and the thing it's evolved, but the tenets have been the same, is let me be a living sacrifice.
Yeah.
And it is not about me. This is bigger than me. This is God. This is the ancestors. This is something I am just a blip in the universe to bend towards justice, right? And so it just, I pray about it, and when something is not right, I walk away, even though, and that took took some time to get that skill set of walking away, right? To be clear, because you be praying and being like, "No, God, that's
I really think it looked like
this." I know you said that, but I think what you meant to say
you didn't mean it like that.
You didn't mean it like that. I know you meant it in a different way. So His will, not my way. My will. So my faith has played a big role in it, and it's just been a constant journey of like, is this for me? And if it is for me, it is only for me.
Yeah.
It is only for me. If this is for you, it is only for you. And here we are.
I mean, you, in your speech at the Route 100 Gala, you really charged the audience with knowing and understanding and leaning into their assignment.
Mm-hmm.
And you being a former teacher with Teach for America, you've always looked at this as being your clear, defined assignment.
Yes. So if you go back to 2023, look, I've worked on presidential campaigns. I've won presidential campaigns. So working in national politics seems like it would be the next step would be work on the 2024 presidential. And lots of people came and told me that is what I should be doing. But I remember going into the new year of 2024, I had an experience where it was just like, you have to really stay in your lane. You have to remain disciplined. You have to know that God has put a calling for you to start Watering Hole Media. And it doesn't feel like it's going well right now. It doesn't feel like the checks are clearing to keep this thing going. But be faithful, my good and loyal servant, And so I just kept going and going. And the team went from 25 to 20, 10 to 2 to me. And I'm like, okay, what we doing out here, And then it started to pick up, but I was faithful and I was committed because this was my thing. And so even when like the vice president, Kamala Harris, became in the race, the temptation to go and work on a historical campaign like that was there.
Yeah.
The call came, but it wasn't God's call.
It wasn't God's call.
It wasn't my assignment. I had a chair to protect the vice president in a way that very few people got to do on national television. I had a chair to tell the truth when it was really a moment of like, what is this country going to do? I still have a chair. And so while it was tempting, and while that would have been one of those prayers where I said, I think what you said is go on the campaign, God. And, let me do it. But I don't have the root then.
Yeah, you don't have the root. I want you to go back because you and I were talking before we got started, and I mentioned the Alabama Brawl
Yeah.
and how the documentarian will be coming on the show to discuss that moment in history.
Yeah.
And you said that when the Alabama Brawl happened, August 5th, 2023, there was this light bulb that went off.
Right. So Watering Hole had been dormant for almost 12 years at that point. I watched the evolution of Black storytelling on digital platforms change the way we saw what had happened with our own eyes, right? So you had white folks who decided they weren't going to need to follow the rules, and Black people, particularly someone who had been empowered to do it, saying, no, you need to move your boat. And when they were attacked, they believed and they did have the right to defend themselves. And so in a moment when you think about the historical context of this country, when you think about it happening in Alabama, people weren't sure what was going to happen. But Black storytellers, without permission from anyone, brought joy, brought comedy, brought truth, brought liberation to that story. And in 24 hours, it's a national holiday in Black culture, right? You know what I mean? We call it the Montgomery Uprising. And so that day was, in that weekend, I was around different social justice leaders and we talked about it. And I was like, we have to build infrastructure to empower people like that, to do that, to potentially make a career out of that. And that was when I relaunched Watering Hole.
I mean, in a world, in a space and time where erasure is at the forefront, there is no DEI to even talk about Black women, to talk about Black people. You are almost blackballed. How important is it for us to tell our stories?
Well, if we don't tell them, somebody will tell them for us. I mean, the story will be told. I mean, our stories are rich and are joyful and are painful. And so there's money in our stories. There's healing in our stories. So somebody is going to tell the story. I guess I just asked you, like, do you want to have the pen or do you want somebody else that you don't know that you might not trust to have the pen?
Come on. Yeah.
Like, take some agency over yourself, right? And I know that we've all had people talk about us before.
Yeah.
And tell the story. Imagine if they did that on a movie screen. You don't want that. So if you don't want that in your everyday life, why would we want that for our history? Erasure is very powerful and real, and having the power to greenlight stories to be told, which I now have. And quite honestly, you have, so many of us have because we have social media, but owning your own platform is a game changer because I am the final say at the end of the day. And I'll give you a story. So I haven't owned it that long. It's been like 6 months at this point. And somebody sent me a story and they were like, would you consider covering it? And this is how like systems work without you even knowing like how they have conditioned you to think. And I was like, oh, I don't know. Can we write the story today? And then I was like, what are you doing? You own this thing. Like, yes. I sent it to the editor-in-chief and I was like, and it was up in an hour, right?
Yeah.
And I didn't tell them how to write it or what to write it. But I was like, I own something, and I was literally about to filter myself. No, that's the power of ownership.
Yeah.
You can say yes and it's done.
I mean, I love that because even when we were talking, when we were in New York together, I mean, I want you to tell how fast, when we talk about I've only owned it for 6 months.
Yeah.
You literally had 6 weeks from start to execution to bring this thing to life.
Yeah. So 2025, I know tested a lot of people. Tested me too. So at the end of July, I get a call. My mom, because this is like, it's a personal and professional story that is happening, right? So I'm just living my life, going on vacation. I have my birthday, come back the end of July. Knew that the route was for sale. Don't think we're gonna get the chance to go into like exclusive negotiations. I get a call. Oh no, I get an email and it's like, we're moving forward. And I'm like, this is like July 29th, right? End of July. They want to close mid-September. Now, if you've never done a deal, I had never actually done an acquisition. That's 6 weeks to negotiate terms, to get the money right, to transition staff. That's almost unheard of, right? Yeah. The day or two after I get the call that I'm going to go through this process, I also get a call that my mom out of the blue has to have quadruple bypass.
Yeah.
So I'm like, no, this is not, I don't think I can. But I think everything happens for opportunity, because that meant I needed to be the caregiver for my mom and focus on the root. And that was it. And so I had to put some assignments to the side because they weren't the priority. And I was like taking calls in the hospital when she was in recovery. But it just cleared the way to focus on her and this. And we got it done in 6 weeks. We announced 2 weeks later. We announced the Route 100 4 weeks later. And then we had our event 4 weeks after that. And we did everything from scratch.
I mean, when people say you can do the impossible, this felt like the impossible, because I want you to talk about, because people are like, acquisition, like, where'd she get all this money to go get this? Where'd she get this money? She had that money, that money. Listen, where did you get the money?
Well, I will say this. It's funny because the funniest text I got from someone was that, Ashley, I got all these texts about this African princess who bought the ROUTE, the root, thinking like I had bought a road or a town or something like that. And she's like, who is this African princess? And then she looked it up and she said, it's you. She was like, now question, I don't know you for a while. You African princess? And I was like, no, that's how rumors get started. Look, this is the thing that we need to teach our kids. We need to teach our peers. We need to teach our elders. We need to teach our community. There is capital available to make deals like that.
Yeah.
You can go and get your coins together if you do it that way, but there are also people out there that want to invest in opportunities. So again, I did not find resources to do this in 6 weeks. I had been laying the foundation for 3 years, telling people that I wanted to do it. So when the opportunity came, and that meant I would go to people and say, I want to do this thing. And I got a lot of no's. This is not right. This is not ready. But it is, are you committed to your assignment, right?
Yeah.
You do your homework, you get some questions wrong, you do it another time to get more right, so that eventually you get your A. Some people are A students. Some people have to practice. I'm a practice type of girl. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then you can do it in 6 weeks, because I've been working for 6 years.
Yeah.
It did not happen overnight, And I remember when I was in grad school, I worked at BCAT, which is Brooklyn Community Access Television, which is like community access TV, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it was midnight, and I was editing a package. I had shot it. I was the talent. I had edited it, and it was about Brooklyn high school cricket. The most interesting thing in the world, right? And it was a great package. And one of my friends said, Ashley, in 20 years, people are going to look at you and say, this happened overnight, but I want you to remember this night.
Yeah.
You paid your dues.
Yeah. I mean, I was looking at you in all of your glory the night of the Route 100.
That was a fun night.
I mean, we had a ball.
A ball. A time was had.
A time was had. As all the times when we were together somebody is like, I'm literally in your room and I'm falling asleep and you're like, okay, are you staying?
Right.
And I'm like,
because I'm turning the lights off.
Because I'm turning the lights off. I was like, yeah, in a minute. She hit them lights. I said, oh, it's too dark.
I got to go. I got to go. She's like, I'm never getting out of this room if I don't go now.
I was like, I got to go now.
Yeah.
But when I'm standing, when I'm looking at you in all of your glory, I think that is the thing that that kept coming into my mind, was like, you have worked so hard to be here.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that people think that you skipped some steps and you got some easy road paved for you. Mm-hmm. And that was not the case.
No.
Yeah.
I've cried more than I've smiled.
Yeah.
But we in the smiling days now.
I mean, in the smiling days.
In the smiling days. But there have been more tearful nights. There have been more moments of disappointment than joy. But you persevere and you get to this moment. And it doesn't mean that it's never easy. There's a basketball coach, Carol Lawson at Duke, and she says, you just do hard better. You just do. And that sits with me, because like, I never want things just to be like, do. I always want this challenge. Like, this is not it for me. This is literally just the beginning.
Yeah.
But I just learned how to do hard better, and everyone can learn how to do hard better. And a lot of people, and I also, I'll say this, Brandi, I have worked very, very hard, and I've sacrificed a lot, but so have a lot of people, and they haven't found themselves in this position. The thing I would say to those folks is just keep going. You never know what the next second will bring you.
Yeah.
And literally, I could have quit a day too soon.
I mean, when you look at all the things, your mother, all the health challenges, even after the quadruple bypass,
Yes.
there was still hurdles to jump.
There were.
Because when I was sitting there having lunch with your mom, I'm sitting there like, I'm sorry, Miss Fawn, what?
Yes.
Yeah.
A couple, then 2 months after that, she had a minor stroke.
Yeah.
It's just been a lot.
Yeah.
And you just stay focused on your priorities.
Yeah.
And you don't let the distractions take you away. But I'm not going to lie. There were like a couple nights I was like, woo-wee. Woo-wee. Woo. Pressure makes diamonds, girl. But like, maybe you just want to be a pearl. You know what I'm saying? Like, Jesus.
I don't want it that bad.
Because look, I also am an attorney by training. So I read every document in this deal.
Yeah.
Every single word I read. I put notes on documentation because I was like, I'm not, no shade, but I'm not about to be TLC out here. You're not about to BBD, Bell DeVoe me out here. Like, I'm not. I came up in the era where like we got bad deals. And I'm like, how do I structure this right? How do I stay smart? How do I make sure? But the protection came, right? Because this is what I was supposed to do. But due diligence is the real thing.
The due diligence.
Yes.
I mean, absolutely. I want you to go back because there are people who always thought that the root was Black owned.
Mm-hmm.
And then we learned in your acquisition that there was a time and space where it wasn't. So kind of tell me what happened.
Yeah. So in 2008, Henry Louis Gates was the co-founder with Donald Graham, who owned the Washington Post. So the Root was a part of the Washington Post, and they were co-owners. I think there were a host of other owners as well. At several years later, maybe 6 or 7 years later, it then was sold to Univision. Univision kept it for maybe 5 years, and then was sold to a company called Geo Media, who owned another suite of properties, and then I purchased it from Geo Media. So this is the first. And Univision and Geo Media were not Black owners.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So that was how.
Yeah.
Because I think so many people were confused, like because they had been used to seeing the Route 100
Yes.
and seeing the list come out for all these years. And the assumption
Me too.
was that this was a Black-owned media company.
There are a lot of things out there that people make assumptions that are Black owned that are not. And it doesn't mean they're not made for us, but made by us feels different.
Yeah. What made this list different? Because when you sat down with your team and you had to come up with this Route 100 for this year, what made this list different? Because even when you and I talked about this, it was like, I want to be on the Route 100. And you're like, yeah, I did too. That's why I bought it. Clock it.
No, I didn't say that.
No, she didn't say that.
I mean, the Route 100 has been aspirational to me. I will literally tell you. In maybe 2010, I was reading one of the lists, and there was a gentleman, Joshua Dubois, and he ran the Faith-Based and Neighborhood Partnership Office for the White House. And I was like, what is that? How do you get that job? And that was a marker in my career to start to work for that position that I eventually got a very similar position to that appointment at the White House. So it has always been aspirational. I wanted to make sure that in the year of 2025, where it felt like Black folks were approaching the world in a different posture because of some being disappointed in the 2025 or 2024 election, the world was moving real fast. I wanted to make sure, it was an accurate snapshot of the entire year, right? So you forget what happens in January when it's in August, right? Like, I forgot Hillman Talk was that year. I forgot, like, Sinners came out last year. Sinners was great, but by, like, September, I was like, what happened in January? What happened in February? So we really did a lot of research where we went through social media, we went through publications to chronicle every month of the year and make sure it was a full snapshot of the year. Two, we wanted to, before it used to be under 45, we wanted to make sure that we had a range of, because I think in this moment, the most important thing we do is to work as a collective and not be in competition. So we had young people on the list and we had people in their 70s on the list. So it ranged. And the diversification of audience. So we wanted people in business. We wanted people in politics. We wanted people in journalism. As a publication, we had a lot of storytellers on there. We wanted people who you may never have heard of, but you should know.
Yeah.
So that if a young scientist is looking for aspiration, they can see Julian Brown on there. And if a young journalist is looking for aspirations, they can see Tamron Hall on there. If a business major is looking, they could see Takedra on there, and who knew the CEO of Waymo, the driverless cars, is a Black woman, like reshaping the way our lives are. And so we really wanted it to be a snapshot. The other thing that was different this year is we took away the rankings.
Yeah.
Because, we're human. And so if you're like, well, why last year I was 10 and this year I'm 15, did I not do enough? Or I'm 1 and then do you want to be 100? It was like you all are crushing it in your field and you are all collective of a community and this is the class and we are present to you as a whole. And it took the people who were on it, the people who have been on it before really said that meant something. We do not have time to be fighting amongst each other about whether I was 1 or 5.
Yeah.
We've lost the plot.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Like we've lost the plot. And so it wasn't my idea. Actually, our publicist made that recommendation, Nicole Shore, and I loved it. And again, ownership is a beautiful thing because she came to me and said it, and I was like, oh, God, how am I going to do this? And so then I went to the folks who had been there before, and they were like, that's a great idea. And it was done.
Yeah. I mean, you have had to reinvent yourself so many times along the way. In this season, how are you reinventing the narrative of your life?
Ooh, we getting deep. Well, you mentioned in the introduction about not shrinking. I know people may see me and think I would never shrink. But it is a practice to know you deserve what God has for you.
Yeah.
And the courage to go get it. And I think that Route 100 night, I was in my full self of joy, of excellence, of achievement, of love, and of the other reality of struggle as well. And this chapter of my life is being unapologetic about bossing up. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
They say, like, in your 40s, they say it gets better, but it gets better.
It really does.
You get real clear.
Yeah.
I'm like, I got all this time to waste.
Yeah. You really do. I mean, I felt like my life opened up at 40.
It did.
It was like, oh, I feel like I'm just getting started.
I'm just getting started.
Yeah. You got this new clarity. You got this new sense, this self-awareness.
Yes. And the world has told you so many stories about what your life should look like at 40.
Yeah.
And mine did not look like it at all.
I know. I mean, you and I both, even on our line of very accomplished women.
Yes.
We're not married. We don't have children.
Yes.
We are always the ones who are quick to respond, say, yes, we'll go on the trip.
Yes. Begrudgingly. Stay up the late. What I mean? We always were very close in our, and have various, but they tell you these stories of like, this is what it needs to look like for you to be happy, for you to have peace, especially peace, right? And mine doesn't look like that. So I'm like, so what? Do you just live in turbulence?
Yeah.
No, I reject that.
Yeah.
So let me rewrite my story too. Let me rewrite and let me show that there is another way for other people who want to explore it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What do you want people to say about you in the next 10 years about what you've built?
What I've built is that it's sustainable. that it has shifted the way people experience ownership. And what do I mean by that? The media industry is shifting right now, with platforms, with streaming. And I think there's an opportunity in our community to have unique approaches to revenue sharing and whatnot. And so I want to kind of revolutionize how we think about that and how we build economic power in our community and economic opportunities in our community. So I want them to know the stories we write, but I also want them to know that the infrastructure of our community, particularly economically, is stronger because of what I've built.
Yeah, that is stronger. What type of stories are you looking for when you're looking to reshape?
Well, I think that there is just writ large in terms of categories. There's like sports and politics and whatnot. But there is an angle about what makes this conversation important for Black people. So I say we want the root to break news, verify news, and help people make sense of the news, right? So when we break news, if you got a hot lead, hit us up at the root. If you got a big announcement, you know, let us know, because we want to treat that story, we want to investigate it, we want to break the news. Verify the news, you know, there's a lot of AI, there's a bunch of stuff out there that is questionable, so we want to be a trusted source that we fact check and do all that stuff. But making sense of the news is when you see what's happening in our country. Let's rewind 6 months, where the question still was like, how are Black people going to engage? Or even like the Target boycott. Why can't you not just boycott everything?
Yeah.
And why is it not powerful? Why, what is the history of boycotting in our country? What is the history of boycotting globally? The first boycott I ever learned about was when we boycotted as a Black community South Africa because of apartheid, right? And so in my head, those products that we didn't support then, I still remember to this day. What did they do to get right with our community? So I want to tell those stories so that people feel empowered. And then I want to tell stories that are like that. That's on the root side. On some of our other things, we want to tell stories of things that people don't always think about when they think about, like, you remember the era of Boomerang, Strictly Business, those were entrepreneurial stories, right? They were scripted, they were casted by Black people, they were directed by Black people. But then you also had the era of higher learning, which really made you think about race and injustice. Those are the type of stories that we want to tell. And then we want to highlight people who are doing amazing things in their community that will never be told. Maybe because nobody ever thinks it's important enough to write it down, or maybe because their local newspaper is actually closing because the way media is doing it. We have an opportunity to chronicle our history, provide it to museums, provide it to libraries so that it doesn't get erased. We aren't going to be here forever.
Yeah.
So we got to document it while we're here.
Yeah, document it while we're here.
Yeah.
What advice would you give 20-year-old Ashley, or even 30-year-old
Girl, you
Ashley?
be wildin'.
Yeah.
You be wildin'. Calm down.
Calm down, girl.
I think I used to approach with an iron fist. Always.
Yeah.
Even as a child.
Yeah.
A very self-righteous approach to the work. And it doesn't have to be like that. My old boss, Valerie Jarrett, actually taught me that you can build better with kindness than with anger. And that anger was honestly a manifestation of things that I just was working out in myself and my own confidence and clarity about who I wanted to be. But younger Ashley, I would tell her, be like, I wasn't mean, but be kinder in your approach. Be thoughtful of the whole human that you're working with and your whole humanness.
I think I would say the same thing to myself.
Really?
Yeah, because I was so...
We were like, girl, we was like...
Knucking
and
and
bucking and ready to fight.
We was knucking and bucking. Listen.
We had to heal.
Yeah.
We had to heal.
That's perfect.
We had to heal.
We had to heal. And I mean, we were doing it in real time, right?
Yes.
Everything was just happening in real time. We were put in leadership positions in real
Real
time.
time.
Young people put into these positions. I mean, all these moments.
Yes.
I mean, I remember when I spoke at the White House on my birthday.
Oh my gosh.
And I ran into you. Ashley didn't even know I was going to be at the White House.
Yes.
And literally, we're walking up this, and we literally
I was like, Brandi? Carly?
Ashley Allison. Ashley R. Allison. Literally, we were screaming that. You had no idea I was going to be there.
Mhm.
I didn't even think to call and
yes.
tell you,
Yes.
hey, I'm going to be in DC or anything. And we run into each other. And I think that that's just always been our journey along the way. But we had to heal.
We had to heal.
Yeah, we had to heal.
We had to heal. Because life was not hard. I don't I think there's different versions of healing. But I think everybody has to heal.
Yeah.
And I think it gets a lot easier once you do.
Yeah. It really does.
Because 20-year-old Ashley, even if I had all the experience, if I hadn't healed, wouldn't have made it in 6 weeks to an acquisition.
No.
Because I would have cussed everybody out by it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you wouldn't have made no friends.
No friends.
You wouldn't have had the relationships to even call on.
Yes.
And pull on.
Yes.
I mean, now it's like I sit in this seat and I'm able to call on people because I've built relationships. And people have seen your track record,
That's
right? They know that, okay, I know I go with Ashley. She's
steady. She's not
excellence.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I mean, there's so much that we get to see transpire every single week with you on CNN.
Yes.
There's more moments when my mama is calling me, I saw Ashley. I saw Ashley. Oh, Ashley laid it in. Oh, she laid into them people. And I'm like, I know, girl. And then I see the viral moments all across my, my timeline. I mean, you've had all these, big moments where you've used your voice in a really big way, but there's been a lot of moments that have, scared you because of the voice and the power that you have.
Yeah, I've been doing CNN now. I've worked for CNN for 5 years, going on 6 years now. It was an arc to get to where I am now, where I can show up and use my voice. There was a moment where I was on talking points because I didn't have the confidence. I was like, I don't want to mess up. I don't want to do this. I don't want to do that. But the reps, you practice, you get the reps in, and then you find your game and your place. And I realized I had a unique perspective to bring. But with truth comes a reaction, and not, believe it or not everybody agrees with me, Brandi.
I don't know why. I don't know how.
I don't know what they're thinking, but they don't always agree with me. And the internet is a place where you can disagree with people and never have to show your face.
Yeah.
And a lot of people do, and I have had threats, and I have had everything. People call me everything but a child of God. But I do not, stay out the comments.
Yeah.
Stay out the comments. And the thing about it is, I'm like, wow, you found my phone number. You took time. You don't know me.
Yeah.
You let a 5-minute clip let you do research to find my personal phone number, to find my email address, to find my home address, to send me a message with poor grammar and misspellings. To call me anything less than a child of God.
Yeah.
God bless you.
Yeah.
Go heal.
Go heal.
Go heal.
I mean, because when I see some of the comments that people write in some of the posts that you have literally laid into the mediocrity of so many men out there. I mean, when I read some of the comments, because I get in the comments when I see you, I'm like, what they saying about my girl?
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, hell nah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like...
I don't even know. Because it's not going to change. I read comments, but not I just don't read hateful. If you say something that actually sharpens my opinion, I do it because I want to hear other people's perspective to sharpen mine, maybe change my mind on something. But if it's just hateful and mean and trying to intimidate me, that is serving no purpose for me. So I block those out. But yeah, I will tell you about the moments though. Most of the time it's not me. We did pray before the show. Most of the time it's God speaking through me. Like sometimes, when they say the preachers get the Holy Spirit,
Yeah.
that's what it feels like sometimes. I'm like, do it, and then I'm like, oh, what just happened? Like,
Yeah.
let me go back and make sure I said what I wanted to say, because I'm in the flow, right? And I'm like, I can't just let this go.
Yeah.
I gotta say something. This is like outrageous. And why am I here if I'm not gonna do it?
Yeah.
You
Why
know?
am I here?
Why am I here?
Is it harder as a Black political commentator?
I don't know, because I've never been a white man, but probably. Like, if I just had to use other life experiences, probably. I haven't really thought about that, but probably, yeah.
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 Yeah. I mean, Ashley, one of the things that you have committed yourself to is this idea of disrupting, right? You go in and you disrupt spaces, whether as a Black woman, culturally you go in and disrupt spaces. How are you looking to disrupt in this season?
I don't know if I call it disruption. I think I just call it being me, and I think what I want to do in this season, if we do want to call it disruption, I want no idea to be too big or too small to speak on, explore it, and make a decision on it. I think a lot of times we say, oh, let's do, like, okay, I don't know how Pop the Balloon, the show, became like a phenomenon, but it is now like a dating phenomenon in
Yeah.
our country. I don't know how Real Housewives of said city became the thing that became a thing, but that was somebody's idea.
Yeah.
And now we have like 7 cities. It's like a staple. It's an icon. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
like, so you may have an idea. Let's say it, let's generate it, and let's the next thing has yet to be created. So the way I want to be a disruptor is to create it.
Yeah. To create it.
To create it.
One of your favorite songs is God's Got a Blessing.
Yeah.
With your name on it. It's one of my favorite songs. I play it every morning. It's the first song that I hit play on every morning.
Mm-hmm.
God's Got a Blessing with your name on it. And that was your father's favorite song.
Honest to God, I had never heard that song before my dad died.
Really?
Yes. So my dad lost his vision in my adult life and became pretty immobile. My mom was his caregiver for about 15 years. And because he lost his sight,
But your father was a physician.
Yes.
For many years.
For many years, family practice physician. And because he lost his sight and couldn't read and engage in sports the way he used to, he was a phenomenal athlete. He used music to just keep his body moving, keep his mind sharp. And look, y'all, he would make CDs for people like in 2022, like, and he was the CD dealer, right? He would like burn the CD.
Yeah.
And that was like his offering to the community. But he loved music, thousands and thousands of songs. I actually have his old records too in my house still. But he apparently loved God's Got a Blessing. And so when we were planning his funeral, my mom was like, I want that to be sung at his funeral. Now, that's not really a funeral song, right? Like, I'm going up yonder, right?
And it can be anything you want it to be.
Yeah. And so that was sung. And so I was like, huh. And so I started listening to it as a way just to like start to the grieving process. But it feels like whenever something special happens, that song comes on. And I'm always like, okay, Daddy, I know you're here. I got you.
Yeah.
But it was the song that we put in the video that introduced me and that I walked out to. Because I definitely wanted him. He is a big part of why I am here today. But God does have a blessing with my name on it, with your name on it. And the thing about it is only your name on it.
Yeah.
And that is what I want people to get about this season is like, it's so easy to be distracted by what other people are doing and want it because you think that would make your life better. But I really, really fundamentally believe that if you follow your assignment that God has for you, life will be easier. Life will be better, not just for you, but for the whole, because we all have this role we have to play, and we have to play it together.
Yeah.
We don't survive on our own.
I need you to survive.
I need you to. That's another one, girl. Speak to my heart, Holy Spirit.
You listen,
That's
all
the
of
other
the
one.
things.
Listen.
I mean, I didn't even know that was one of your songs until we were at Jill's birthday cabin trip.
I know. Well, another time was had.
And I'm playing gospel music that morning.
Yeah, and everyone's up except for me because I'm not a morning person. And I was still like grieving in a different state.
Yeah.
And we had kicked it the night before too also.
Yeah.
So I was like, let me just be a slow riser. And laying in bed, our other Sans comes up. You getting up? I'm like, nah, I'll be down in a little bit. And then that song comes on, and I was like, okay, here we go. And then I'm like,
she comes out the room like, who is playing this? I said, me. And she's like, of course.
This is my daddy's song. I'm walking, and then I'm up.
Yeah.
Then there's no putting me down after that.
Yeah. I mean, so many things, so many memories I think that we share that just make this
real,
so special
and real.
For me. Yeah.
And there have been moments where there has been less contact, and then there has been moments of like intense contact. But that's what friendship is, right? That's what sisterhood is. It doesn't have to be there every day if it's real.
Yeah. I mean, and just the evolution.
Baby.
Listen.
For both.
Because we got so many stories.
We got lives. We can live.
We got so many lives.
I mean, yeah, we were good girls, though. That was the thing.
Yeah.
We just had to heal.
We just had to heal. Listen, we just had to heal. So look, as we close out, girl. Listen, I mean, literally, I think my mind is just so many flash.
It's just
so many things that I'm like,
the icebreakers.
Listen, we got so many stories. I think both our memoirs, when we finally sit down and write these,
fact check this. Was that how it
can I you in the memoir? Just know there is a story.
There's a growth sprint here.
your ass made it. Okay, just you made the story. You know, as we close out, Ashley Allison, one word you're committed to in this season of your life.
Assignment.
Yeah.
Assignment. Assignments change every day too.
Yeah.
But assignment.
Sans, you are on your assignment, honey. I am just happy to be.
So are you, though.
Listen,
I think that's the thing, is that like, so are you, because you don't have. Now I could flip the script and talk about your chapters, okay? But this is you.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is you.
Yeah.
You know, and I know that like what is next with this platform, with this journey you're on, is gonna be big and bold.
I know it is. Listen, I got an extra like surgence of audacity. You know, I told you when we were together, I was like, the word that just keeps coming up as I'm watching you, Ashley, is audacity, like audacious. And I was trying to figure out what my word was going to be for the year. And October, I had started saying, I'm going to just have some audacity. When people be emailing me, asking me for stuff, I'm like, oh, let me tell you exactly what I really want.
Yeah.
If you tell me no, whatever, right? And then when I get with you in December and you reiterate that, and you talked about even going to ask for the capital for this project, and you were like, okay, and if they say no, I wasn't no broker when I walked up in there. Like,
I had the same I had coming in.
I had the same.
Out.
So I'm going to just go out here and ask for the very thing that I want. And when you and I were together, I was like, that's it. Audacity. Because I was reminded of how much audacity, how audacious you were in this acquisition, how audacious you've been in how you get on that microphone on CNN and you have the audacity to say the things that we are thinking as Black women, as inhabitants of this land. You become a voice for us, on so many ways, and you get to speak so much truth and life and power when you sit in that seat and you understand the assignment every time you sit down.
Aw,
And
thank
so,
you.
Ashley or Allison, honey, it is my honor.
My
It is
pleasure.
my honor.
Love you.
I am so proud of you.
Thank you.
Vaughn and Powers Talks, another good one for the books. Be sure to share this with somebody who needs a little more audacity in their assignment. Y'all, this is my homegirl. Y'all go support the root. Until next time, I'm your girl Brandi Harvey. Eat well, give a damn, move your body every single day. Peace.